Everybody, today we'll be reading about principles of IHL. While the war is ongoing, what kind of principles should we follow during war? For example, Israel and Palestine, they're fighting against each other, they're bombarding each other. What kind of principles should they follow when they do all those acts of war? First of all, we have principle of humanity, which I have not written here, which is extremely common. It means that humanness should be kept at first. Only then you should do all those things of war. Um, this I'll explain it later. It's extremely easy. Okay. Principle of humanity is a general principle of law, just like that. When there is a gap, when there's a question, what should we do? We should always follow humanity in IHL. We should not do discriminate attacks against civilians. We should not um, indiscriminately attack them. We should not attack them in a way that it harms their dignity and all the objects of mankind that has been made, all the cultural objects that should not be harmed in such a bad way. We should at least do something in by staying in one. So there's Martin's clause, which says that just choose humanity when there's a gap in law. So yeah, that's we can explain it more, but let's focus on these four principles, which are the cornerstones. That is also major principle, but we need to remember all this. This is very easily remembered. Okay. So principle of distinction. First of all, we need to distinguish between civilian and combatants. Civilian and combatants. Who is a civilian? You, me, your teacher, your doctor, everybody is a civilian. Combatant means the armies and everyone who goes to fight, right? So while the war is happening, we should always distinguish between civilian and combatants, because it is important for us um, to know where should we attack target. When target is set, then we should know which one we should attack. So civilians should never be attacked. That's why they are mentioned in uh, article 51 of AP1, that is additional protocol 1. Combatants, they are described under GC3, that is prisoners of war. GC3 defines combatant as in 1, 3 and 6 of article 4. So whatever is combatant, that is not civilian. That's what it is say. There's no clear definition. So but the civilians might lose their right to be protected when they actually participate in the war. They directly participate in the war, then they cannot enjoy their rights and protection. No DPH should be the condition. That is, they should not participate in war. They should not show any kind of hostilities. If they do, then they can be killed. So yeah, they should not do it. Combatants, they have the right to obviously participate in hostilities. And principle of distinction maintains two different things. Okay, distinction between civilian and combatant, and distinction between civil object and military objective. What does this mean? Civil object means, again, whatever the object the civilian uses. Military objective, it is not military object but military objective. What is the objective of those combatants? What do they aspire to have, and what are they how are they willing to um, fight in a war? So that is military objective that they have to say. So military object can never be military objective. They cannot attack those military objects as well. They cannot attack civilian, they cannot attack military object. It is mentioned in article 52(3) of AP1. And this is military objective 52(2) of AP1. So there should always be a distinction. And in article 48 of AP1 also, it has been mentioned that these two things should always be separated, so that it will be easier for us to carry out all these war things. Okay, so yeah, we are done with distinction. Let's just forget about it, and let's go towards proportionality. I have made this figure See, this is a fulcrum. If you have studied science, obviously everyone has. So this is a fulcrum. These two objects are there, right? So balance is created by the fulcrum. This fulcrum is proportionality. So proportionality should create a balance between humanity and military objective. That means whenever you're setting a target, whenever you are performing an act in accordance with your commander and whatever, you always have to follow one principle, that is the is the damage that is predicted, does that meet our military advantage or not? If collateral damage is more than the military advantage, then it is not proportional. But if the benefit, that is the military advantage, is higher than the damage caused, then it is proportional. So it has to maintain a balance. So benefit, what is the benefit? Military advantage, what is the cost? Maybe civilian life could be a cost, civilian objects might be a cost, right? So you have to balance that, you have to weigh that. Okay, so two kind of loss might be there: justifiable and injustifiable. Justifiable loss means there is little or no collateral damage, but injustifiable loss means the collateral damage is extremely excessive. This violates proportionality because it has to be proportional. We have read that in um, use of force also, right? So proportionality means whatever you have, if you have attacked me, I can attack you back. But if you have attacked me with this marker, I can attack you with the marker. I cannot attack you with a bomb. So that's what is proportionality in terms of use of force. But here proportionality actually means uh, does the benefit that you're thinking, does that match the damage you're doing? So if not, then you should not do it. It violates the law of proportionality here. Let's go towards military necessity. Military necessity, is it necessary? Should we do it? Is it actually that necessary? If we bombard that area, does that benefit us and our military operation? If yes, directly, if it benefits us, then yes, we can do that. But if no, then we cannot do it. But targeting civilians can never be justified in military necessity. It can never be justified in military necessity. Another thing is that there's a threshold that has to be maintained. That is the imperative military necessity, not just necessity. If it is required, but if it can be avoided, then you should not do it. If it is extremely required, that object should make effective contribution to military operation of your enemy. So you could win just because of that thing. That means it is military necessary. Okay, so 52 defines military objective, and you have to first know the distinction between object, all those things. Only then you should apply those force if it is actually necessary. So military objective, it could be. So that's it. And if we talk about precautionary principle, that means we have to be extremely precautious. We have to be cautious if we are bombarding some areas, or if you are using some force in some areas. First of all, we need to verify all the intelligence informations, like how much of that bomb is gonna cost lives of civilians, how much area is gonna affect. And we should only do those things that provide minimum collateral damages, minimizing. What is the least collateral damage we could have? Do that. If you are seeing some civilians is about to get affected by it, instead of the military objective, civil object is about to be targeted, then you have to stop it right there. Because you have to be always cautious, and you cannot have you cannot just indiscriminately attack anything. Okay, that is mentioned in 57 and 35. This is mentioned in 48 majorly, and this is not mentioned. So this is what you can remember. I've written it here. So 51 5B AP1, it has been written 5B of AP1 additional protocol, and that's it. These are some basic information that you have to know about principles of humanitarian law. Okay, thank you. And there are some cases too, and but yeah, this is just basic.